Hey, it's Rod from Adventures with Rod, and today, not really much of an adventure, but we're going to do a video on where I'm at and what I'm sitting in, because I've actually had a couple of questions when I've been traveling about what this is, and I haven't really done product reviews before, but this is one product where after almost 2 years of ownership, I felt like I had enough experience with it to give a good solid review, so stay tuned. Alright, I'm in the back of my truck. This is a 2017 Toyota Tacoma, and what I am under is my Softopper from Softopper.com. They make fabric-based tops for trucks. If you go to their website, they have quite a bit of selection for pretty much, I think, almost every truck make that you can think of, at least that are relatively popular. So Toyota, GM, Ford, Ram, I'm probably forgetting Nissan, a couple of others I'm sure. And they're an alternative to hardtops, and they have some pros and cons, and that's what I'm going to go over today. So I've had this Softopper now for probably almost 2 years, and it cost me probably around $800, $850 with shipping and some of the options that I had. The price hasn't changed much. I think it still lists for around $779. And I'll just kind of go through the basics of this topper. So, as it's in its typical form where it's actually covering the bed, you're going to see the aluminum structure which holds it in place. So this is all aluminum tubing, and the screws, the steel screws, are all anodized. So it's essentially rust proof, and I've had zero problems with the frame. The other advantage to this, I think, also is the fact that it's less than 30 pounds, so extremely lightweight. And installation from time do you get it in the box to literally on your truck is probably 30 minutes or less. So it's very easy to install, very easy to maintain, and it secures very well. You'll notice on the inside, so it mounts with these aluminum attachments that integrate into the track system and have these clasps which can, which is how you actually secure it to the frame. So that's the main point of contact with your actual truck body. And then the flap in the front hangs down considerably over the middle part of the front of the bed, and you can buy these clasps to secure it more, and it's got these snaps. I don't have that and didn't think that was necessary, so that hasn't been an issue. And obviously you have the window, which visibility isn't great, but for any truck topper, it's not really they're all pretty much equivalent in terms of that. It could be a little bit better, but I've not had too much trouble. Inside you have a couple of clasps which secure it to this rail. Those are adjustable and they come off easily because they're just clipped. And then you have some auxiliary snaps for which I'll show you in just a minute. And then it sits on this pivot point, which I'll show you in a second what that's for. And then it has these brackets which hold the bulk of the weight of the actual frame that holds the tent or the truck topper up. So that's very basic how it works. And one of the reasons I wanted it and was critical for me was I still need this to work as a truck, and I want to be able to remove it very quickly so that I can haul larger items, and that's exactly what it does. So I'll just show you how that kind of works. So in removing the truck top, first thing you got to do is simply just undo these snaps. This is come up fairly easily, no issues there. Go on the other side. These come up, and obviously when this is when it's warm, my truck has been sitting out in the sun. When it's warm, this actually makes it a lot easier. Next step, I'll put the camera down for this. The next step is to loosen these straps, unbuckle them, Do the same thing for the other side. Like that. And then the rest is just fold it all the way forward. So, there. You can certainly remove it completely if you wanted to not have it, use it for extended periods, but this is what I do when I need it to haul something for a short period of time and then replace it. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's 30 seconds to bring it up and then roughly 30 seconds to bring it back up and use it. These pins are in here as well. If you were going to completely remove it, you would basically pull these out and this frame piece would come out from that section, and then you could actually remove these rails if you wanted to remove it completely. So it's been 2 years. I've had it up and down numerous times and never had any problem whatsoever. So just going to demonstrate pulling it back again. So there, it's pulled back. Reattach these. Like that. And then cinch these down just to, actually, you know what? I'm gonna maybe do that just a little bit. There we go. I'll put the snaps back in since it requires 2 hands, but it's basically a similar operation of just snapping those back into position, and they go back pretty easily. So, and then the back, you might have seen, so this is the back window. It also has see-through plastic vinyl. It has, I would say, it's not as clear as it used to be, but honestly, I haven't cleaned it in quite a while, probably in 6 to 8 months, so yeah, that's my issue. But and then the way it secures to the bed is that you have a steel rail that has some slots in it. They go like that. You secure that snap, and then you've got some excellent, these are YKK number 10 zippers. Zip that up and put it back that way. And then the trunk goes up, and kind of show it to you without doing it all the way. Here we go. This takes 2 hands. Let me get this in here. It's a little bit difficult, but the trunk goes up, and well, if I did it right. This is the part that could be better designed, but it works. It just fits over these edges, and once it's snapped into place, it's fairly secure. You could also have, which I did, they provide you with Velcro, sticky Velcro, that you can secure this so it doesn't flap. Mine on this side, after a trip, it just deteriorated, not because of the product itself, but just age, and you know, it was no longer sticky and starting, so I pulled that off. I haven't replaced it, and I haven't actually had any problems with it. And I think I've seen on some forums where some people don't even bother with this part. This doesn't really flap that much when you drive, and it's still secured with this piece, so it's actually not going anywhere at all. One of the other things you can do, which I haven't really ever done, but it's kind of convenient if the environment is right, is once you've, even in a down position, you can unsnap these sides on both sides, and that's what these hooks are for. One of the other good things you can do is after this, you've unsnapped, this works on both sides, and while the topper's up, if you wanted to, you can actually fold this up, and that's what those snaps are on the interior. And if you want to or need access to the bed, you can put these up just like that, which I think they refer to as safari style. So this gives you plenty of opening. It also has air circulation, so if you were stopped and it was warm and you wanted some ventilation back here, maybe you're stopped for a while and you have your dogs or something like that back in the back, this has got nice ventilation, and it does the same exact thing on the other side. One of the issues that I have noticed, at least on my Tacoma, is that in the front part where this panel meets the truck bed, the length of the panel is, you know, a bit longer, and it just fits down in between the space between the actual truck body in the back of the pickup. And what I have noticed is that at highway speeds, what I found is that this would flap. It wouldn't come out or anything like that, but it would flap enough to where it would make noise, and that was annoying. So what I ended up doing is I bought some, basically, I can't remember what size it was, probably 1-inch pipe insulation at like Home Depot or Lowe's. It's just the flexible stuff. I cut a section of it, and then I pressed it down in between the back of the pickup bed and the truck body to apply pressure so it would hold that in place, and that seems to have corrected that problem. So, little pro tip there for you. You can kind of see this is a very heavy duty canvas like sailcloth. So, and I have had this on my truck for 2 years, pretty much the entire time it's been on. If I haven't removed it, haven't stored it, done anything to it. So after 2 years of wear, the seams in the stitching are excellent. The buttons have held very firmly. The Velcro on these sections where you clip it together has held up very well. And you know, they provide you with some insulation pieces in here in the very front of the bed to prevent water intrusion, and that has actually worked well. I have not really been in the cab. I don't use the truck bed for camping or sleeping or anything like that, so I can't say that it's, you know, completely waterproof. But it's sat out in the rain in heavy rainstorms, and I've never come into the back of the truck and ever seen any kind of water at all. So, and I've also driven it with gear in torrential rains and pulled my gear out and it's completely dry. So I would say for the most part it's nearly waterproof. So you can see this is what it looks like from the canvas perspective. So this has not been cleaned in quite a while. I've just washed the truck normally and just rinsed this off and washed it with typical automobile soap. So I'll get set up and we'll clean this up, and then I'll have a before and after. These are the two products that I have used for the last 2 years to clean and protect the truck topper. So both of these are from 303 Protectants. The Tono convertible and convertible top cleaner is made for like canvas tops, things like that. It removes the dirt and it doesn't leave a residue on it. And then I use a very sort of soft bristle brush to kind of gently get dirt from out of the seams and so forth. And then I obviously rinse it and dry it. And then I use 303 Protectant, which in my opinion is the best UV protectant out there. I've used it on my Miata top for years, and I've used it on this, and I just feel like it does a great job of protecting the surface. So in terms of care, like I said, it's been on my truck for almost 2 years. What do I do for it? Well, I do wash my truck pretty regularly. So that's one thing. And I do wash this with water and just the typical soap that I would use for my truck. So that's probably, you know, once a month, you know, once every 2 months for, you know, in the winter when it's less of an issue. But my truck is pretty much outside 24/7. So I don't garage it on a regular basis. But what I do end up doing is usually twice a year, and I'm actually going to do this today. I will clean it with a specific cleaner to get the dirt out and a mild brush, rinse it off, and then I will actually protect it. So I do that about twice a year, and I think that it will, you know, last as long as I want it, and I take care of it. I don't think that there will be any issues with it. I've heard that Softopper, if you do have issues, they're very good about customer service. I haven't had to call or do anything with it yet, so I can't really attest to that, but I suspect that they would take care of issues if there was some sort of a manufacturing problem or defect. But I've taken care of it, and it's been completely solid. So that is my official review of the Softopper truck top. Just to recap, I would say for me, the number one priority was I had to use my truck as a truck. I couldn't go with a hard top. I needed to be able to use the bed to haul the truck. So that was the number one driver. That eliminated pretty much any kind of hard top that I was thinking about. probably number 2 was expense. So, I mean, it might seem like it's expensive. It's $800, but for me, it was important that I thought, the build quality was good. They're built and made in the United States, which was really important to me. And I'm willing to pay for that. And the company stood behind the product. So that was another key thing for me. So I pretty much just use a microfiber towel to dry it off and get most of the moisture from it. But one of the things I do always do before I protect it is I let it dry for about 30 or 40 minutes. I really want the canvas to be dry when I put the protectant on so it sinks in. So I'm pretty much done with the washing and cleaning part. I did, I've already put the protectant on the top and the one side, and I did the back. But the other thing I wanted to point out is on the back panel, see-through vinyl. I don't ever put any kind of cleaner on this. I just use a wet rag to clean both the outside and the inside. I've always been a little nervous about putting anything on here, a chemical that's going to just turn it pretty much really cloudy. You can see that it's already doing that, I think, just from UV damage and debris and dust and stuff has scratched it, but I don't use any kind of cleaner on it. I'm pretty liberal with my usage of it. I go ahead and give it a nice blast just because you can see that it soaks in pretty quickly. And then I just lightly wipe it. I don't really try to remove it or anything. I'm just letting it sit in and soak in. And that's pretty much it. So this whole thing that I just did, I mean, other than the camera work and moving things around and stopping and starting, probably takes me at most 15-20 minutes. So it's actually really easy to do. And it looks good. Quick rock around so you can see the finished product. Nice and clean, nicely protected. I like the nice kind of a glossy black deep finish, and you can feel it. It's soft, and it also helps repel the water when it does rain. So pretty easy job. And again, like I said, I only do it about twice a year, usually before the summer and then right before winter starts when it's out a lot and I don't wash it as much. So that's it. I really appreciate watching. If you like this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If not, give it a thumbs down, and I'll see you in the next video.